Welcome back. So this is the Death Distant 1% Hyper Graveler Stella Sora. Holy sh. Yeah, as I was saying, I was just about to hop on to my favorite chill gacha game of all time, Stella Sora. And this video is honestly super quick because I'm just about to do my boost in Stella Sora's brand new character unit for the CNY festival, which is going to be what's the name again? Basically Giga Koranis, right? I would literally just think that they was from like okay. My main purpose for why I want to make this specific video is because do you guys know how we keep saying which gacha game has the best gacha system, right? Which gacha game is the most free-to-play friendly? W players, everything. And like Stella Sora was gonna like, completely destroy, especially on the launch, because you know they have the 1,000 kabillion pools and like they have no pity carry for. Today's video is to show you guys exactly why Stella Sora, at least for this particular scenario, has the best gacha system of all gacha games. So if you take a peek over here, we have the Spark right here, right? 120 Spark, exactly the same as our Knight's Enfield. But alas, if you take a look in your PD details, we are guaranteed Spring Seek Coronas in 22 summons. You know why? Because the fucking pity actually carries forward to the next goddamn banner. So here's an illustration of exactly how this came to be, right? And why Stella Sora legit has the best gacha system. Let me put a good old reliable notepad over here, right? So if I can kind of just divert your attention. Okay, wait. Okay, so basically what happened is that in Stella Sora, you have two separate things happening at the same time. All right, 120 pity and 160 for the rate up. 100%. So both of these mechanics over here are 100% rate up. It's just that for this particular scenario, there's also no such thing as 50-50. As in like guaranteed 50-50s. So it will always be 50-50, 50-50, 50-50. Like is exactly the same as Enfield. So the difference is for this particular gacha system, no matter what happens, at 120 pools, you can then claim the rate up from this, right? You can then claim the rate up for this, right? So no matter how many 50-50s you lose, at 120, you guarantee this for no reason whatsoever. But here is where something very interesting happens, which is this pity, this 160, it brings forward to the next banner. So it doesn't go away, right? This thing doesn't go away. So it means that my previous banner where we got ourselves Fire Frenzy, right? We got Fire Frenzy, right? We went to hit 120 PD. Boo-hoo, right? We had to spend 120 PD for Fire Frenzy, hard pity. So by that logic, if this was, for example, Enfield, right? Especially your 6-star guarantee, it will all reset. But in Stella Sora, the only pity that matters is the rate up. That is the only pity that matters. So because of this system still being in place, I can now guarantee both Fire Frenzy in 120 PD as well as the next banner within 40 pools. So in this current scenario, I only need to do 22 more summons and it will guarantee me 2 different rate ups at the same time. Which means in Stella Sora, in 160 summons, you actually get 2 rate ups. Guaranteed. No questions asked. In 160 summons. Which I think this is like incredibly free-to-play friendly for anybody that's thinking of playing Stella. And yes, I am still a complete free-to-play in this game. I have literally not spent a single cent. And I have pretty much gotten every single unit. I have every single rate up unit, almost every single standard 5 stars, except for, I believe, Nayaka, the green DPS. That's the only one I'm lacking, which is just going to show it. I think that this guy has been like really nice for me and my account. So at this point, I'm not gonna yap anymore. Exactly at 22 summons, and we have 22 tickets. But about hit that shit. Okay, we didn't get it early, so it didn't want to do. Alright, we're just gonna skip that. Alright, that's very, very good. Alright, we're just gonna do another tempo. Alright, we didn't get it early. It didn't want to do. That's exceptional. And then in 2 summons, right? In 2 summons, hit that. And there she is. Oh. Whoa! And there she is, chat. In 160 pulls across 2 banners, I get 2 rate up units. This is unprecedented. Like, it's guaranteed 2 rate up units. You could argue, right? What if I just get lucky? What if I just get the 5-star in the first tempo, right? What if I... Then that's fantastic. And every other gacha game, you can also get lucky. But the bottom line for Stella Sora, like the worst possible scenario for Stella Sora's gacha, is this. This is the worst that could ever happen to you as a free-to-play. In 160 pulls, you are guaranteed 2 rate up commanders, which I personally think is just fucking crazy. So now, we'll reset, right? So we don't need to care about it anymore. So this thing is reset. So it will go way back again to 160 pulls. So by the next banner, this spark will also reset, right? So right now, we're gonna be starting off with a clan state. I just realized this says 2 rule. So now that I got my rate up in 160 pulls, which is gonna be on that pity, we are gonna do the whole thing all over again, right? So I am gonna be 98 over here, which I don't really care because I don't want to go for the dupes. So we'll just wait for this banner to end in 19 days and 12 hours. So for the next rate up unit, right? Whatever this next rate up unit is gonna be, it will also be split into 120 pity as well as 160 pity. So just like Alright Enfield, you would not want to build pity here, right? You will only want to pull on the next banner. So all of your pulls will go towards the first spark. So while that is going on, this 160 will also go down, right? It will also go down. So by the time, let's just say worst possible scenario, you have to hit 120 spark for the next rate up. Then you will only need 40 summons again. So for the next 2 banners, you are once again guaranteed 2 rate up units in 160 pulls. Which this current system combined with, let's just say, the gacha income that I've been receiving as a complete free-to-play, I don't really see there being a much better one right now. Alright, and the weapon is low-key kind of free. It's a low-key kind of free. So, actually, no, how is our bid on this? The good thing about this is this banner for the weapon, it carries forward. The banner for the weapon, it carries forward. And yeah, this unit is absolutely diabolical. Dupes are 0 importance in this game. There's like almost is like as important as HMC to RMC. It's irrelevant. It is almost irrelevant. Because the endgame content for this is just like leaderboard kind of stuff. And if you get at the top 100, you probably won't grind. But like for me, I'm just thinking like super chill. Because like this is a super chill game. You know what I'm saying? I would say that because we don't really have anything else over here at this point, right? I may have 3 standard. Okay, are we gonna try this? I don't think we are able to get this rate up like Cone TBH. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get this rate up like Cone, but in any case, just a very quick video to kind of go over why I think Stella Sora has the best gacha system. Any violent objections, chat? Any wars? They give a fight. Yeah, alright. Stella Sora also gives you a free max limit break 5-star disc for every single event, which also turns out to be that unit's close substitute if you do not want to get a single level. Right, so like for example, if I don't want to get that, I can just max out this event like one, and then we just run it. So it's like it's very little pressure to like get them rate ups. Right? HSR could never, bro. This is the equivalent of, for example, right? If HSR has a final rate up, and then they have an event that gives you a final S1 that does like 10% away from its actual S1 for free for every single rate up. For every single rate up unit, they have this. So you almost have like 0 incentive to pull for a limited disc in Stella Sora, which I think is also really good in terms of like pressure. Also, yeah, lemon is very. Okay, chat, I think with that, since nobody is gonna be disagreeing, I will just end off this video right here. Word of the day is gonna be the actual best gacha in the entire gacha world. Join Discord, use code POKE. Give us all the best. I will see you guys next time. Can I zoom in on her? Stop making those strange noises.